Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Today, you're joining, as you can see on your screen, you're on live stream if you're watching from live stream on Facebook. Also, you can catch us on Instagram and then all of the podcast channels such as iHeartRadio, Spreaker, iHeartRadio. See, this is what happens when I get to host and Christian, that's right, he's going to keep clicking different things. Christian, just keep clicking through. We're a very professional radio show. YouTube, you can catch us there too. Radio.com. I don't know what that symbol is.
Spotify, Apple Pod.
Woo!
And on KryptonRadio.com there. Please give us a like when you get a chance out there. Tell your friends. We've got a special announcement right at the end of the show there that we want to tell you about. But we got a special guest today, and I picked out this picture because I thought it was absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, look at that.
Now they're going to be disappointed when they see me.
Oh, whatever. Shush.
Aubergine color. Love it. Oh, good Lord.
Oh, gosh.
Good morning.
Our special guest.
It's afternoon here. It's sort of tea time here. So I'm in England. Not in. For some of, apparently we linked up just before we went on air. And for some of the presenters, I'm upside down. So I teased them that I was either a bat or in Australia, but I'm actually in England.
Well, for those of you watching live, go ahead and leave us a little quick comment and see which way Annette is positioned on the screen.
I might be sideways. I might be lying down for some.
But what's greatest today is, as you can see, we have an amazing interview set up today with the amazing and talented Annette Badland. You might have seen her. If you're in the U.S., like most of the people on our panel here, you might have to watch a lot of things from over the pond, maybe from BritBox or Acorn or any of the, or if you do have BBC America, you probably have seen her on, well, for our purposes, Doctor Who as Margaret Blaine, but she has been in, I mean, I'm at that point where I'm going on BritBox and you're everywhere. I've seen you now on Outlander, as Glenna Fitzgibbons. I've seen you on EastEnders. My aunt, who's actually from London, she's like, oh, she was Babe Smith. Oh, she's amazing. She's like the perfect aunt. She's not a mother. Right. She's not a mother figure, but she's the best part.
So
I had an earful
and a little bit scary.
A little bit scary. Yes. But I mean, even though it's
and you get Midsummer too, don't you? Midsummer.
We get Midsummer.
Pathologist in that.
Bergerac.
Yeah.
I saw you at a spot. Was it Father Brown? All of a sudden you appeared. Yeah. I'm like, oh, my Lord, this woman is everywhere.
She is. I define this as Annette Badland is the Hugh Laurie of actresses. She's in everything, whether you like. It's just like one moment you'll see somebody walk into the room and just, wait a minute, isn't that? Okay, that's Annette.
One thing, sadly, I can't play the piano and sing jazz, but
but one thing, and I'm just only touching on the TV things that stateside that we can see. You're also very prolific in theater as well, and even I saw that you did CBBS where you did the nighttime story. Yeah. I saw that
bedtime stories. I loved it. Yeah,
but
great.
But but the one thing I really want to know first, before we even get into Doctor Who, is there you've done so many styles of acting, whether it's drama, you've done a little bit of comedy, you've done everything, especially again theater, television, film. Is there one that you particularly you're drawn to, or are you someone that just wants to have that range, and if you see a piece,
it's usually the writing. It's usually the writing that draws you, the character and the writing. But my first love is theatre, because that's where I began. It's how I fell in love with acting. So it's, and you know why you're doing it then. The audience let you know. If you can make them cry, you can make them laugh. That's extraordinary, and it's such a gift. And in the theatre, you know it's happening. They're there in your hand, and that you know if you failed as well. If they don't laugh and they aren't moved. So that's my first love. But I enjoy film a lot because it again feeds you. It the ambience and the energy of a building actually feed into what you're doing. So I enjoy film very much too. Just ordinary studio is the hardest. For a little time there, I could only see myself. It was terrifying.
Christian, don't do that.
On my screen, I could only see me. I didn't care for that. I'd rather see all of your lovely faces than mine. It's very off-putting trying to talk to myself. Although I do all the time without looking at myself. I often chat to myself. So theatre's first love, and then, as I say, studio is hard if it's a built set and things. You don't get so much atmosphere from things.
Well, kind of that almost dovetails to another question, the fact that we just saw you on the screen only. I know some actors do not like seeing themselves on screen. Like they just either they don't want to watch it. They it's almost like they have the mentality of theater, where I'm going to put myself into the role. We're going to see everything. You know, what I'm doing is in the moment. You're going to grasp it. You're going to feed into it. We're good and we're over. The same thing, they kind of translate that into film, or for film and TV, where they do it, they perform, and whatever the camera got. I don't want to see what the editing was. Are you more that way?
I prefer that. It takes me a long time to look at anything I've been in, and then it's sort of like this. I don't really want to see. I certainly don't. If I'm in a series, that starts to go out and I'm still working on it, I won't look at that at all, because you get influenced. I don't read reviews either, because I was very hurt when I was young. When I started, there was a critic who was very personal and very rude, but also I don't read them, because if they praise you and they say she was brilliant when she did that, then every night in theatre you go, this is the bit I do really well. You can't help but it influence you. So I stay away from all those things as much as I possibly can. Eventually I might look at stuff, but it does take me a long time.
Christian, I know we also are doing this live, so we have some things in the chat. Is there anybody asking any questions just yet, or any comments whatsoever?
We have Paul Rogerson. A Christmas Carol is a good part too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Miss Fezziwig.
Yes. I did Mrs. Fezziwig twice. I did it with Patrick Stewart, and then did The Man Who Invented Christmas, a film with Dan Stevens, just a couple of years ago. And they were very different. It was both Mrs. Fezziwig, but they were treated very differently. So they were both a lot of fun.
Was it a little, because you had done the role already when you were being called back to kind of reprise that character? What was it that made you kind of know that as you just said, that they were completely different, even though, the lines are the same? What was it that you kind of went in there and went, okay, I'm going to change up this nuance? Or how do you approach it when you're like, don't do it the same way?
Because the story was dealt with. It was about Dickens. Dickens had writer's block while he was writing Christmas Carol, and the premise was that he would see ordinary people and turn them into characters. He would steal from them and start writing them as a character, but then he got writer's block, so we all turned up in his studio, in his room, and would go, well, aren't you getting on with it? Or we'd go out with him to look in a shop window. We'd all comment on it, and we were pests. We just wouldn't leave him alone. So I loved that idea, that and a writer will be plagued by those characters in their heads, and I just liked that premise very much and wanted to. And I'd worked with Dan before. I'd worked with Dan in theatre in a play called The Vortex, an old Coward play.
And Annette, I just wanted to bring this up because it was relating to the story you were mentioning earlier about reading reviews and stuff. I just bring up the story because I have a question for it. When I went to a famous acting school down here in Orlando, Florida, which I will not name anymore, I don't even know if they exist. But when they went through the acting thing, they had the graduation class. They were telling people like, oh, you're most likely going to be here. You're going to most likely be this person. You're going to most likely be this actor or a character actor. When they got to me, it was, you're never going to be the leading man. Just flat out said that. It's like, you will never lead in any movie or TV show or radio show, or, anything. I was like, oh, well, that's nice. I gave you a lot of money for you to tell me the obvious.
You were meant to turn me into someone who could play the lead.
And then I said, well, what do you see me as? And he goes, well, you're most likely going to be the alien in the background, which, hey, what, Doctor Who, what, guess what? But when you do see those things like there, because I know a lot of people, you know, they take criticism hard. How do you get through that? I know you don't read it, but when you first got into it, when you started reading it, how did you get through it? And you know, when you finally shut it off and said, hey, you know, because I know there's a lot of people out there that take the criticism personally and hard.
I felt I couldn't act. It was, when I first left drama school, I was with the Actors Company. Ian McKellen started a company where the actors chose the directors and not the other way around. So that was my first experience. And then I played Mole in Toad of Toad Hall over Christmas, and then went into the RSC. And it's where I'd always, you know, it was my dream, and I just loved it. And I was Audrey in As You Like It, and the critic was, you know, very rude because I was large, and it hurt. Not only I couldn't understand why he couldn't see beyond that. It negated any acting, any character. All he saw was a fat woman. He called me a heavy-duty lorry. Why did they have to cast a cute, heavy-duty lorry?
Please tell me this person's not working anymore.
I think he's dead.
Okay, good.
But it meant for a while I didn't want to go and act. I knew the audience were responding well to me, but and as I say, what hurt most was I thought, well, he can't see what I'm trying to do. He can't see the person. He can only see the exterior. Mm-hmm. So that was tough for, you know, quite a few months to work through it and just keep going out there. I didn't want to go out there. It was really very difficult because I thought, is that what other people are seeing? Is that all they see?
Mm-hmm. What do you think now of the current state of just the industry in general, and how you're seeing more representation, not just in race, but also in body types? You're seeing a lot more body positivity. You're seeing a lot more people than just the cookie cutter physicality. So what do you think?
Isn't it? Because it reflects reality. It's what we all are. There, you know, very few people are perfect, and that makes us more interesting. And it comes from other places. And I love all the Scandi dramas, and often those, you know, the actors in that are not stereotypical. They're very different, and we're moving along that same route now, which is fantastic. Can only be good for all of us.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. I'm going to pause us real quick for a quick commercial break. And when we return, we're going to continue our conversation with Annette Badland. So keep listening. We'll be right back. And we're back. Thank you so much for listening to The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. We're going to continue our conversation with the amazing Annette Badland. One question that we did have in the chat, and that is from Gretchen Greer. And that was, what was your favorite role to play?
Oh, this is always a hard one. There are about half a dozen. I know what I'm meant to say, Margaret Blaine, immediately. It's high up there, I tell you. But for an actor, there's always only about half a dozen roles that they really kind of adored playing, and it can be for different reasons. You know, it's circumstance or the role itself. Margaret Blaine is pretty high, and certainly with Russell writing Boomtown for me, that was an enormous gift, because when we did the first 2 eps, there was never, you know, Boomtown wasn't on the map at all. So that came as a huge gift. And he'd written everything in there. You know, there was humor and there was pathos and, you know, wonderful lines and situations. And Russell is just fabulous and can write a single line that has several emotions in it. You know, it can be amusing, but it can then turn entirely into something else. So I did enjoy that enormously. I played Sadie in the film. Well, I did the play The Rise and Fall of Little Voice with Jane Horrocks, and Alison Steadman, and then we
Mm-hmm.
did the film with Brenda and Michael Caine. And Sadie was wonderful because on the page she was only about 12 okays and about 2 sentences, but she had such a wonderful journey and was the heart of the piece. And so I loved it. It wasn't so developed in the film. The play, was showing that much more, but I really loved playing Sadie May. Jabberwocky, because of the working with the Pythons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Mad Terry Gilliam and wonderful Michael Palin, and I'm collecting the Pythons because Terry Jones was there, but then I also did a project with Terry later on, and then a couple of years ago I worked with John Cleese, so I've almost got the whole set.
I don't know if you remember.
You love things for different reasons,
Right.
I don't know if you remember, Steve Martin did some kind of biography about the Pythons. And at the end, at the end of the biography, he goes, "Where are all the Pythons now?" He goes, "Well, they're in this room." And he opens up the closet and all the Monty Pythons are there. And I'm thinking that's your closet right there. There's everybody.
Yep, that was called Parrot. Yeah, I remember that one. That was called Parrot Sketch Not Included.
Hey, folks, Melanie, if you don't mind, we're going to go to the chats for just a moment there. Stephen Knight just gave a big
He's excited.
We have Lady Gallifrey. Hello there, Lady Gallifrey. Thank you for joining us out there. And we also have Graham Corse. He says, "Good morning, everyone."
Good morning to you.
Morning over here.
There you go, Graham.
Are you still in your PJs with a coffee?
I have no pants on. Anyway, Ellen,
wait
or
till you tell us.
Wait a minute here.
We don't want evidence. It's fine.
Everybody will know my religion at this point. I think this is an answer to a previous one. Laura Colley Keaton.
It might be somebody just tagging somebody to come watch the show.
To come watch the show there. And Paul Rogerson comes up and says, "Have you got on a t-shirt yet that says 'I'm shaking my booty'?"
No, I haven't. I shouldn't I?
Yes,
or
you
I
should
have it on the back of my jogging pants or something.
Yes.
I gotta ask. I gotta bring you back to that episode where you said this episode was written to you, but then you must have at one point read the script, saw that you were an alien, and go, "Wait a minute, what does she do now?" Just like, and trust me,
Russell was there at the very beginning, and he described. I've actually still got a drawing he did for me because we didn't know what they looked like.
Right.
So he wanted that baby aspect of them that could then be quite nasty. I mean, the flatulence is a very English gift, isn't it?
You said it, not me.
When I first watched the show, I couldn't get through the first 2 episodes from all the flatulence jokes. I really couldn't. And then everyone's like, "You just got to just press on. You can do this." So I wasn't exactly the biggest fan of Aliens of London or World War III. But when we got to Boomtown, me and my husband were like, "Just try. We can do this. We can watch Doctor Who. Everyone else loves Doctor Who. My cousin won't shut up about the show. We can do it." You completely opened my eyes. The moment where I went, "Okay, I have to watch this," is watching that dinner scene between you and Eccleston.
Yes.
And just, I mean, it's not like there's all this meaty dialogue in it, but the way it's architected and the way that it keeps flipping, where you are just saying that, you saw this girl in the loo and you spared her. So shouldn't you spare me? And it was just this amazing banter back and forth where you just could see where, I mean, he's like, "Oh, well, so you're almost begging, but, and then he's turning around and says, "Well, you spared one this time, just because of a whim, blah, 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 blah." But then your character just turns and goes, "Only a killer would know that." So it's just the positing back and forth and then going. So here you're like high ground. It kept shifting the high ground of the conversation.
She was the first character who'd confronted him about his morals.
Yes, absolutely.
He isn't whiter than white or the great hero. She was that Slitheen was the first person, Blon was the first person to kind of challenge him and confront him. Yeah, it was glorious, and it took a lot. I was filming something else, a series called Cutting It in Manchester. So it was logistically quite difficult to make it work, because I had to get down to Cardiff. Chris had to come off. He was filming another episode entirely. And because of the windows and actual daylight, we had to film it, in real time. And so it took a lot for everyone to make it happen. And it was just worth it, because it's Russell's writing. It's rich stuff. And you've again got the humor, the kind of her trying to attack him, and him foxing her. But yeah, lovely, wonderful writing. Great stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that the beginning of the episode of you running back and forth, being caught. Yes. It was such a nice slapstick, light, fun comedy. But that,
and having lines like "dinner in bondage works for me."
Yeah.
When he said,
"Oh, that's RTD all over it." That's RTD.
I just keep getting a chuckle imagining the pitch meeting. Okay, well, you look like yourself, but you're actually this thing in a zipper suit, and you're going to fart a lot. And
yep. You just say, yes, please, go on then. I still scare little boys in supermarkets if they're kind of following me, or I just have to put my finger and they all run away.
That's how you maintain your social distancing right now in these times. You're like, you're not 6 feet away.
I can see you at the supermarket going, "It's a long line. It's a long wait." Oh, yeah, whatever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she was lonely. There was all sorts of stuff in Margaret Blaine, because she was that scene where she's sitting in the toilet alone and miserable. And, it's extraordinary stuff to see. Sort of.
Honestly, you brought a lot of, for the big first season of Doctor Who, I believe you and your character was the first time that we saw that the range of the tone of this show and how much drama, how real, and even to a certain, how gritty it could be with, again, sitting in the loo and just, you're having a little bit of an identity crisis, really, because you're like, wait, who am I? I need to survive, but this isn't me. And I mean, astoundingly brilliant. I mean, there's times where whenever someone now, in the realm of the show, they say, "Who's your favorite villain?" It's always you, honestly.
Hooray!
It absolutely is, because that part of Boomtown, I mean, you're the reason that changed me to keep going with New Who, honestly. Because even in that dinner scene, your micro expressions, your posture, and how in the beginning you were powerful, you were ready to do tete-a-tete, but then at that very part where the begging part, your eyes just slightly glazed, and you could see there was a begging behind the servant. Yeah, so I could just sit here and gush all the time. So I'm going to be quiet. Although if you want it, you can have it. But I'm sure Jessica, jump in. I know you have questions for her, and I'm not going
to take them all. No,
I'm glad she converted you anyway. that storyline converted you.
Oh yeah, it's just brilliant. And of course, doing your research, I've seen you, as Melanie was saying earlier, we see you in everything, and it's just absolutely brilliant, your versatility, and everything. Some of my favorite things that I noticed that you had done, so putting like Doctor Who with that, but then I saw you also were able to be Madame Arcady in Blythe's Spirit. But then you've also played in Bad Girls someone with a dissociative identity disorder. And I watched that because I work for a hospital as an actor to help train them. And I've been able to do schizophrenic, and it's a blast. So I was wondering, with such versatility between playing an alien and Doctor Who, which is just anyone's dream, especially if you're English, to be on Doctor Who and be an alien. Yes. And but being able to play the quirky Madame Arcady from Blythe's Spirit, I mean, you've just got such a range, and you've got a type, and you stick within your type, but even within that type, you get to do so much as an actor, and it's inspirational as an actor talking with someone who's been able to have and just own your own type. But I was wondering, within that, was there a most difficult role especially with, you know, maybe the Slitheen or something like that, of finding the humanity in something that's not human, or finding the truth behind someone with a mental disorder, or any of these things. And I was just wondering what your take, or something that was a huge challenge to you within those roles, because you're brilliant in all of them. So
thank you. I try and find often the opposite from what it seems to be. If you're the villain, there's often an Achilles heel, or, you know, a weak point, or a vulnerable point, a reason why you are as you are. Babe in EastEnders was villainous and wicked, and but she'd never been loved. Never in her life. No one had ever loved her. And so she wanted to be loved, and she'd try and find a way in. And then when it went wrong, resentments would build, and she'd be vengeful. And so it's finding because we're all complex. We're none of us linear, and you just have to find, well, for me, I liked it to be as rich as it possibly can be. So I try and find the opposite from what seems to be the person. And I like those things. In Bad Girls, I suppose I hoped I'd be sort of a bit like Ray Winston, but ended up a bit more Ross Kemp, I think, because the disorder was that she became male, she became masculine, and so that was very tricky to divide in your head, really. That was kind of quite a tricky place to go. I played a role in a series called Cutting It, where I was an awful mother to Sarah Parish and Angela Griffin, and that was written by Debbie Horsfield, who people will know from Poldark, writes Poldark. Mm-hmm. And that character hated herself, but that manifested in her being vile to others. And she abused herself. She was, you know, overweight, ate dog food, would abuse her children, used people. But somewhere she felt that she'd never had what she deserved, and she'd been a dancer when she was younger, and so it's such a rich world to inhabit. And if I'm doing a play, I love the research, the period, and the, you know, like the Noel Coward, or I was in Edward II, and you just finding out about other lives, and the more research you can do, the richer it becomes, and the more satisfying it becomes for you and the audience. You know, nothing is straight. None of us are straightforward. We're all complex beings, and whether we're aliens or, you know, people with personality disorders, we're all complex and rich. Even Midsummer's, you know, the pathologist there, she's naughty and, you know, cheeky with, you know, she doesn't just do her job. It's terrific. I like that complexity to things.
Right. Well, I'm going to put a little quick pause in this conversation because we need to go to a commercial break. When we return, we will continue our conversation with Annette Badland. So thanks for listening, and give us just a moment. Thank you again for listening to The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. You're here with Melanie Dean, Christian Basil, Dr. Freedom himself, Brian Burris, Jessica from Swan Songs Cosplay, and the amazing Annette Badland. We're wrapping up our interview now. I wanted to just throw it out to the entire panel, or even in the chat, if anyone else had any other questions.
Well, we do have
so fast, doesn't it?
We do have chats.
We're sitting here just listening.
We do have chats. Give me a second there. Let me pull them up. I'm there. We have Paul Rogerson again. Did you get to keep your zip? Of all things you want to ask.
It was the BBC. Of course I didn't.
Yeah.
It had to be
I've heard
made.
Stories.
It had to be specially made for me because they were too big. Because you know, I was working with men, and they thought a stock zip would do, and it didn't. So I had to have a little pretty pink one. made all of my own.
Oh my God. And we have Graham Krause playing a villain that the whole audience has empathy for by the end, Boomtown. And you just put love, love, love. I got to say this, yeah, because when I first saw Aliens of London in World War III, we were just, okay, this is a new alien. This is kind of different, really different. Of course, it's Russell T. He has to have flatulence in there. There's got to be something. But yeah, I've got to go on top of Melanie with this. When Boomtown came around, this is, I think, what RTD wanted. First of all, were you a Whovian before you got the role, or were
when
you aware
I was
of it?
little,
Uh-huh.
I'm way back at the beginning. So I hadn't maintained it as I grew. I suppose I'd kind of gone away by Tom Bates. I saw Tom, and I know Louise. Louise and I were at the RSC together. So Lou Jameson. So I was watching then, and then as I got older, it sort of dissipated. And of course, when we started making it, nobody knew if the audience would like it. And it was made by people who loved it. And I think that's why it worked. Russell, Phil, Chris, everybody really loved Who. And when I was offered it, and I was going, I'm going to be Doctor Who, I'm going to be Doctor. And other actors were going, oh yeah, right, well, And now people, Knights of the Realm, kill to be in it. But there was they just didn't know if the audiences would take to it or not. So it was just a glorious beginning, that passion for it. Everybody just putting so much into it. They didn't know how long prosthetics would take.
Right.
They, that just everything was an unknown quantity. So
I think
a huge adventure.
But I got to see when Boomtown, this is why I wanted to really compliment you on that. You took that character, fleshed it out. And it was RTD writing and you and Chris taking some beautiful poetry and just writing it out over there. And even though it was a spoof, kind of in the way that she shot her finger and the barb came out over there, it, I think, emulated some of the best of what classic Who was brought into new Who. And you two did an extraordinary job with RTD's writing in that moment, where it was comedic, it was funny, and yet it pulled your heartstrings. So you didn't know whether to cry of joy or cry of laughter or cry of sadness. It was just that moment. I think when people ask me, what are some of the defining moments of Doctor Who in New Who, I have to go and put that scene there. And the very scene where she converts back, she's an egg.
Yeah, a little rest ahead.
Yeah, where you just were that moment where we, was she really a bad guy? Was she given the chance? Where what would have happened if she chose a different path, or the path was chosen different for her? Did she get really the bad end of the stick? Who knows? But she's given a second chance, and it was just translated brilliantly by all three of you guys, including Billy Piper and everybody in there.
Yes,
it was
and she thanked him too. She says thank you.
Yeah.
So she's in pain. It's someone who isn't at ease, isn't comfortable, isn't entirely villainous, isn't
exactly
said all those complex things again.
And we'll give her a second chance. We'll let you write the story and define whether she becomes the same person or does she finally get a chance there. Melanie, I'm just going to throw in one more chat if you don't mind. We got Weena Preston. Did anybody really trump in the sewing costume?
You think I'm going to give those secrets?
How method are you?
It depends on the catering, doesn't it?
I would have paid real money if you sat there on the couch and go, wait. Let me show you.
I do have actually a question regarding your theater work. Do you find that, is there a particular theater, the house itself, that you find that that's home, that wherever, if you're either, I'm trying to think about the Wyndham in London, or is there a specific theater that you find you'll play anywhere on any stage, but those particular boards just you feel home.
I loved being at the Globe, which I've done
Oh.
fairly recently, the last few years, and I played both the Globe and the Wanamaker
Okay.
in the winter, and they are both magical spaces. And the Globe is huge, but you feel connected to everybody in there, and the response of it, and the ethics of the building, and I just adored being there. And then the Wanamaker is tiny and wooden and candlelit. There's no electric lighting, so just a magic place. I loved the Aldwych when I was there with Little Voice, and Manchester Royal Exchange being in the round I enjoyed very much, where I did Madame Arcati. And I worked with Alan Ayckbourn in theatre in the round before it moved to the Stephen Joseph, so it was still in a school, an old school converted. And that was pretty unusual and exciting.
That just came up with another idea. But the question was, how do you feel with, or how comfortable are you working in the round? Because that's a completely different style of blocking and acting, because your audience isn't just through that proscenium. It's
you have to keep
everywhere.
moving. You have to
a little bit more exercise.
And you have to act with your back. You have to be aware that those people behind you get your emotion from what they see, your back doing, your head doing, the way you sound. When this all kicked off, the coronavirus, I was up in Liverpool, the Everyman, which I was at in 1979, and there was a general strike. I mustn't go there again because there was a general strike when I was last there.
Oh no!
And now this time coronavirus. So I don't know what I'm being told, but it's a beautiful theatre. It won Architects Awards, and it feels like it's hugging you. It's great. But it's a thrust stage. So again, you have to be aware. You have to keep moving. You have to keep stirring around as characters. You can't be in one place for too long, so everybody gets to see what's going on. But again, that thing of they're also behind you and need to know the story. So they've all been exciting spaces for me, I guess.
So to tie in the physicality, so the physicality, you've had a lot of experience with the stage and physicality and being able to act with your back. So bringing that back to Doctor Who with the Slitheen, how did you approach that type of physicality of being an alien and a human in everything else? Was that a fun thing to kind of approach with figuring out that physicality?
Yeah, I mean, because I never wore a suit. They were 6 foot tall men, and we'd take the heads off and you'd just see 2 desperate eyes and a sweaty forehead. We'd give them a drink of water and a cigarette and put the head back on, and they'd go off again. So I suppose I had to think about a huge being inside a human body is like the running, kind of that desperate thing in the running. Those were the things I sort of thought about. Or where the menace would cut, how the menace might manifest itself. But I think they enjoyed, once they assumed the human character and skin, they would enjoy inhabiting that part of themselves, bringing that to life. So I didn't try to be a Slitheen, really. It was a Slitheen inside a human form.
I didn't know if you changed I didn't know if you changed where your energy came from. Because, like saying with the dissociative identity disorder, when you change to a male, your energy is coming from a lot lower regions.
Yes.
I didn't know with the Slitheen if maybe you had changed where your energy was coming from. Or, as you said, they were just taking on that human persona in that moment, and it was all feminine and right there in that body.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, I think I thought about ill-fitting, really the alien inside this smaller form, and it wouldn't be particularly gainly or they wouldn't they wouldn't be able probably to become very chic or feminine, or, it would have to be more lumbering than that.
Great. I love it.
This is just an excuse for my bad running.
Well, you're wearing heels
like, it's all
too.
plaid.
So
Or heels,
Yeah.
you were in heels, and I believe like like a pencil skirt. That's not
Yeah.
room attire. That's loud movement.
That damn sonic screwdriver.
In fact, I think we give you a bell curve just for that. It's like, yeah, I'm like, you ran faster than I would expect somebody in heels to run.
It's like they gave you the tools to get in that.
We got a few chats left that have just come up. We're coming up to a commercial break, but let me go ahead and run through the chats there. Nicole Smith, my cousin in Maryland, just said love Boomtown. So there you go. She loved it. Nisha Mulchin, sorry. Nisha Mulchin said good morning, team, and good morning, Nisha. She runs a diversity Tuesday. Yeah.
I hope you have a good day.
Mariah says hi. Mariah Greer. Hi, yes.
Hi.
And Gretchen's back. Dr. Freedom, we haven't heard from
Well,
Lady Gallifrey would actually be, and have no problem with that.
I assure you, this is not a recording. I'm live.
Dr. Freedom's live before a taped audience. That's how he's worked that out. Before we go to commercial break, Melanie, we just want to make an announcement to everybody. Today is, as we're recording this, if you're listening to us live on the Facebook page, today is May the 16th, and 3 days from now, we're going to be celebrating the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS's 8th birthday on May 19th. It have been 8 years since that little box traveled, and arguably Facebook says this is the very first picture that I took of the Traveling TARDIS 8 years ago. and the running gag is that it was supposed to go in places where the Doctor's TARDIS hasn't, and now we have today these pictures there. And things like that. And things like that. And definitely everybody seems to love this picture the most. Things like that. That Traveling TARDIS has traveled a lot, and it's only been 8 years, and now we are going. And if you could let people know, it would be a great 8th birthday for the Traveling TARDIS. We are closing in at 34,000 subscribers on the Facebook page. We're just like 100 people away. Yeah, I know. 8 years with that little piece of metal that Melanie has. I don't have. It's a Melanie there. And we got one last chat. Well, that's just Mariah saying, yay, congrats. Yep, thank you, Mariah, there. Yes. So, Annette, we know you need to go. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, Melanie, you wrap it up. This is your show. No, it's okay. Melanie, you wrap it up. You're on mute. No.
Oh, sorry. Because everything makes no. Again, thank you, Annette, for joining us. I know that you have a very, very busy day today because you did an Outlander piece. Now you're going to continue the press junket from your couch, which has to be nice. I mean, you have to run around and go from one place to another place and go, when am I going to eat? I'm starving. I need to pee. You're like, hold on, I'll be right back. And you're good to go. But
this will be the final question, because we know only got a minute. Have you seen Katie O'Mara as the Ronnie? If you think Margaret would get on with the Ronnie, I think you get well on with Katie O'Mara.
I think she's fabulous. So I think we'd have a very good time together. She's pretty good at being villainous.
Well, Annette, thank you so much.
I might have to eat her as a snack, though.
Oh.
Is that all right?
Absolutely. Not going.
Thank you once again. We really
my great pleasure.
Really and
happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You
got it.
Thank you so very much, Annette. Good luck to you. Safe travels. Is there anything that you want to plug where people can follow you, where people can see you? Anything you're currently working on?
Well, nobody's doing anything. I mean, Midsummer is what I'm meant to be doing now, but we hope to go in September. I was doing a Swim 22, which was for Diabetes UK, but that's not because I don't have my own pool. I was going to swim the equivalent of the Channel. 22 miles.
Oh.
You don't have to do it in one go. You can do it in small stages, but we've had to put it on hold. So So that will be happening, I hope,
Awesome.
once the pool opens.
Do you have any type of social media following or address where people can
I'm
follow
on
you?
Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, but I tend to, it's Twitter I do most, I guess.
Okay. All right. We'll put all your information below.
Yeah.
Follow
Come
you.
and say hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
And cheer you on when it's time to start swimming the channel again.
And
But
I might get back on Outlander one day, you never know. And even Doctor Who.
Yeah.
She could come back.
She should come back. She should come
Very
back.
true.
And
But
thank
thank
you
you again.
so much. Thank you.
My
You have a great day.
great pleasure. I wish you all well and stay safe and stay sane. Well, you know, as best you can.
As best we can. Thank you, Annette. And always, this is always an invitation to come back. So I'll let you know, and I'll let you know when the audio is ready for this. So thank you so much. You have a great
All the
time and
best.
stay safe out
Much
there. And we'll
love.
see. Yes, we'll see you around.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was amazing. That was amazing, everybody.
That was amazing. Melanie, keep control over yourself.
I
Did
can't.
you tell her we're still on the air?
Yeah. I think she can hear us in the studio. So
I can see the live button.
Yeah, you can see the live button. Annette, thank you so much.
If we want to continue the conversation, at least to go in talking about more about Boomtown, let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and we can go and we can we'll keep it going. So since we still have like a little bit more time we can go for. So stay logged in, stay tuned, and become part of the legend.
I have to confess, I'm really stinking at time right now. I think we got like 7 minutes left or something like that.
Don't worry, I've been keeping an eye on it.
You gonna keep an eye on it? Oh,
Yes,
okay. Good for you.
Specifically, I was going to do it in my head because that live counter is so much easier.
Okay.
Because you could just know it's every 13.
Oh, okay. I've been writing down. I've been live counting, but I've been watching my clock. I've been watching the actual time. But
now with that live counter, you can do that. Absolutely. So now I'm going to give myself 5, and then just put the mark of when we're coming back.
Yeah.
I can see that now. Great job keeping the time, TARDIS boy.
Shut up. Shut up, Freedom Man.
And we're still in an edit. We're still live.
Oh, no, we're keeping this on. This is all staying in.
Okay, well, welcome back to the Legend of the Traveling Tardis. This is Melanie D. Christian Basil's up there laughing his ass off. Dr. Freedom Brian Burris over on that side, also laughing his ass off. And Jessica from Swan Song Cosplay. I wanted to say Jessica Womack, but I wasn't sure if you're going to take the name yet or not, because you had gotten your last name married. That fun. Wasn't sure.
Yeah, still don't know. Yeah.
And I don't, girl, I'm still Dean. I've been Dean all my life. I haven't changed it. We've been married 15 years, and it's just easier. So
we're that last name Swan Cosplay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Who needs the last name?
Yeah, exactly.
Cosplay. Boom, we're done.
All we need.
Welcome to our last segment. As you can see, it's kind of been a little bit of free form since I don't know where we're editing this back, because Christian's like, oh, we're just kept talking.
I know, and that's a hard.
I know now how you feel when you edit this show. There, well, actually, we have 5 chats left over from the show. Let me go ahead and get that. Nicole Smith, my cousin, great interview. Thank you so much. Absolutely love this interview, Nisha. Yes, please check out Diversely Geek on Facebook, on her Twitter, and definitely on her live YouTube channel. Gretchen Greer, thank you so much for a wonderful interview, and yay Outlanders. There you go. And nice one, an enjoyable panel, Paul Rogerson. Thank you so much out there. Mariah laughed out loud. Way to go. And Paul's back. But are you better at keeping relative dimensions in space? No.
Yes.
She has my TARDIS right now, and I haven't seen it for 3 months.
It's safe.
I know.
It's in isolation.
I'm not saying that it wasn't safe.
It's been hanging out with this in every Zoom call that I have. It's literally these two together.
For those of you on the who are listening to us on the audio, Melanie's holding up what is that? A doggy?
It's the plush version. If you know the meme, this is fine. I'm okay with events as they're happening. It's the dog that's surrounded by the house inside that's catching on fire. It's the stuffed version of that dog from Topatco. I can never say Topatco.
Mm-hmm.
Topatco. Topato Corporation. Basically,
read
the art,
that.
well, the important thing is it's the artist who made that meme. It's the artist who drew it, so it's the artist who came up with the dog. So I'm very much on famous.dog. This is him. So yeah, I have him in every Zoom meeting. Basically, this is fine.
Oh my God.
He's in the background. He's hanging out with the TARDIS. So yeah.
What do you guys? I guess for its 8th birthday, what is your favorite memory of anything that the Traveling TARDIS has done over in its 8 years? To all of you. Yeah, Melanie just holding it tightly.
Well, I mean, when it comes to all the, I mean, you could easily say which photo you love the most, and quite frankly, it's got to be it. Okay, one, the 12th, when it's the 12th Doctor holding it. That photo is the most amazing thing in the world. But I think the funniest, my favorite thing, kind of also talking a little bit about the dog and how giving it the credit to the artist, is how many times I see the photo of River or Alex Kingston and Karen Gillan holding the TARDIS, and it's being used on every other meme I've ever seen in the world.
I know.
So many people use your photograph, and I'm like, I know where that photo, who owns that photo, and what TARDIS that is. So I honestly, it's like a little kind of nuance of something that's kind of a favorite. Going, you know what? Keep spreading the love. Keep circulating. You know, it's like that Mystery Science Theater thing of keep circulating the tapes. It's like it's cool.
I'm just going to say this. The photos were meant when they first originally started out to be something that people could play with, share with, and stuff like that. But I've seen them in memes. And I don't know, this particular picture was actually made into a print. Somebody painted this. I don't know if you remember that. I'm showing the Capaldi picture. And somebody actually at the bottom here, where the TARDIS is, because we straightened up his hand, it was actually till Jessica. Yeah. Do that again. We got to get. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah.
Brian's not even caring. He's just like, I'm not
it's okay, Brian. He's going like, is the show over? The bottom there has somebody had painted. I don't know if you remember the picture from, I forgot what was it, Flatliners, where the Doctor shrunk and he's getting out of the smaller TARDIS.
Yep.
Yeah, somebody had made that Flatline. Yeah, Flatline. Yeah. Somebody had painted that. I really was so enthused by it. I was like, first of all, I'd like to get the credit because there we go, but I wanted to buy the painting and I can't find the art.
And I know at some point I saw
I'm just like, I gotta get that. And it's like,
that's the worst thing I think for any, for any artist, that their stuff just gets screenshot and then forwarded on, or if you put a signature in it, it gets photoshopped over.
Yeah.
So it's like, will you please give the artist their due? Please. And it would be kind of neat to know, who painted that other one, because it was a digital oil and it was just breathtaking. And it's I would love to give credit, but
I was going to buy
I'm not going to ever, and that's one thing. I'm going to quickly jump onto a soapbox very quickly. If you ever see any of those things on Facebook where it says, buy this print, buy this thing, and you see it says Facebook is a pretty picture or something that's on canvas or it's a shower curtain, it's probably stolen art. It's probably not the artists themselves. That's what my one fear is, finding one of those kind of things that you've taken that someone from overseas. Usually it's all either a Chinese one, because they're protected by IP a little bit, because you can't, because of international law. You'll notice that happening a lot on Facebook. So
yeah, I keep telling friends of mine, it's like, look, I know you think you're but always, if you have original art out there, put a watermark over it. I said, it is annoying, yes, but it does save you a lot of trouble in the end, especially when you walk into a convention one day and, oh, look, there's my artwork on about 100 T-shirts.
Yep.
It's like,
absolutely.
So always,
and not just a watermark of a little name over it. No, you need to cover this. When this goes online, the watermark will literally be over his face.
Yep.
All my art is my logo over that. So you can't just put the heel brush on it and go, oh, look, it looks pretty.
Because I have a friend of mine who used to do set photos and all that. He'd go to the Doctor Who sets and all that. And then all of a sudden, his set photos were popping up in various online magazines, some of which I won't name, such as, like... the mirror.
It rhymes with...
And he finally, I told him, look, you've got to put that on there. And sure enough, from now on, he watermarks every one of his photos. I said, well, people's like, well, that's annoying. It's like, no, that's called someone else is going to take your property and make money off it.
Yeah.
Yes. It's your hard work. Get your money for it. Your compensation for it. Even if it's a Coke.
Especially because he's a great photographer. And it's like, it's like, now I can understand why he's upset, because he has such a passion for it. And then he finds out somebody else took his work and made money off it without his knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not even, these photos are meant to share. And for those of you on YouTube and watching us live, here's the picture that Melanie was talking about.
Oh,
yep, that's it. That's
that picture, gets memed up like crazy. And then when I see the posting somewhere, I just usually send a nice little message to the originator and go, hey, by the way, that's my picture. Can you just give me a little tag? That's all I'm asking.
Which I think the hilarious thing is that you clearly took a photo of a photograph, because you can kind of see the curls on the bottom.
You can see the curls on the corners there.
You'll see the curl. You'll see that. I'm like, but yeah, that's. But I mean, when you were first doing that, you wanted to spread the love. Go ahead and use these. Now, as you've kind of gotten along, you're like, all right, well, watermark. And you've got one hell of a beautiful logo to watermark on top of things.
I know. I don't want to do that because it just makes it
do
weird.
it.
I'm going to have to.
Do it.
Do it
now.
Good morning, Mark. Thanks for joining us there. And awesome wake up. Oh, Candace, thank you. Yes, for joining us. She was telling me that she's in Colorado. She said, I don't know, only if the dog will wake me up while I do that. Awesome to wake up. Thank you so much. Yes, you guys, thank you so much for joining us there. And brilliant. Oh, thank you, Paul Order saying he said brilliant pick. So I think we're really out of time.
No, we can wrap up now. Well, there's a section there that's going to get edited, but
yeah. But do you want to do this, Melanie? You did the whole show, and you want to wrap her up?
Yeah, sure. Why not? So I guess okay. Bye.
It's been fun. We're done. Wrap it up.
So
I just got that vibe, where she's just sitting there and she goes, "Go away."
Go away. Yes.
Go away. We're done here.
So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and give the final wrap up. So thank you, everybody, for listening in and joining us for our wonderful interview with the amazing and talented Annette Badland. Again, at the once we start posting this, we're going to go ahead and put our social media channels on there. As she stated before, she's more Twitter based than anything. So make sure you kind of give her that follow on Twitter. I'm Melanie Dean. Above me, if you're watching the StreamYard, is Christian Basil, our normal host of the Traveling Tardis, but because I'm such a big Badland fangirl, he let me kind of host. Dr. Freedom, Brian Burris himself, and Jessica Womack from Song Swang Cosplay. So make sure you go ahead and give her a follow too. Watch her on Instagram, especially because she's always putting out amazing stuff. Same thing. And Dr. Freedom.
I think we're losing.
Melanie, you're going into Robotsville. Well, what Melanie was saying, thank you for joining us here at the Legend of the Traveling Tardis radio show. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, we are closing in at 34,000 subscribers on our Facebook page, and we would love for everybody to join us. We're just a couple, I think just over 100 people away. Want to thank you so much. I want to thank Melanie for hosting the show. I want to thank Annette Badland for being on and just being an awesome guest. I think Melanie's back, but let's just pretend she's not.
I didn't know that happened. Yeah, from my screen, it just seemed fine.
Okay, no.
Yeah, you literally just froze.
Oh, no. Okay,
yeah.
Well.
You know what?
We're done.
You guys got a few minutes? If anybody wants to just shout out or say something right now, I mean, if you want to in the chat, we got them.
Well, folks are out there saying, "Well, how come you're so quiet?" Come on, it's like I'm not a big deal. I get starstruck all the time to this thing. Sometimes it takes me 2 minutes just to build up, to say something because, when I looked at her resume, Annette Badland, it's just. It's amazing all the things she's done, and it's like you're trying to think, oh God, I gotta say something good, or I'm gonna sound like a freaking idiot.
No,
quite frankly, there's always a little troll in you that
when it comes to interviewing, it also does generate from what they're talking about. So I had a bunch more Doctor Who questions just on my paper, but when she started talking about theater, and then mentioned theater in the round, the first thing in my mind was that is difficult if you're not used to theater in the round.
Yeah.
Wow. So I was like, I've got a question for you. How the heck do you deal with that? Because as she said, you have to think about your back. So
Yeah.
because you are on 360. There is no proscenium just in the front where you're going to your stage, or even if in most of film. Well, if you're on one camera TV, you just have to deal with that camera. You're in the moment, you're presenting the scene, but the camera is there. If you're two cameras, sometimes that's difficult for an actor to understand that you're getting multiple shots. Theater in the round, that's everywhere. And not just on one plane. It's people of, depending on if they're on mezzanine level, balcony level, if they're in boxes, just all the way around. So yeah, your questions are going to be different as you go along.
It literally is a giant sized black box theater. It is, because there's everything is dimensionally, whereas you've got the two-dimensional stage, and they sometimes come out to the audience or do things out in the audience that make it a little bit more 3D. Now everything's around you. Now you are immersed into this world because everything is going around you. And sometimes, depending upon the theater, like I used to perform over at the Fred Stone Theater at Rollins College, if anybody knows that one. There's literally like a small place in the back where the characters change their costumes, but everything else is on stage or is walking in and out. And sometimes you actually have to, if you're changing scenes, have to leave the theater, go around the Fred Stone, and come back in through another door if you're doing something else. So yeah, I totally get with that. You're exposed. It's not like I'm going to go backstage and and just wipe my brow or go to the bathroom. It's just like, hi, you are seen everywhere. So,
but it's also a beautiful one thing because I've worked in a round before, and the one beautiful thing about that is there's no pretense of like putting on or acting. It's realism, which is acting in its truest form, as you want that down to earth realism. So I think that's a beautiful thing that the round gives that other like proscenium stages don't give, is you kind of have that thing of everyone is around you. So life is real in this entire round stage. So I love working in a round. I think it's great. But it's difficult because you have to be on constantly. You can't hide behind a prop, because they'll see you from the side.
Yeah, there's no wings. You have no wings. The only way you're out of the wings, or you're all completely out of that theater. And for her to say that she had worked in the Wanamaker Theater inside the Globe. If you're not familiar with the Globe, it's Shakespeare's Globe. It's just on the Thames. It's a big round outdoor theater. So you have, you typically you do have like the big proscenium, but it's thrust out because it's actually 3 sides that you can be out there. It's got 2 columns on the edge of the stages, or not columns, but think of a big box that you're stuck. But then you have the round around it. You have the big round where all your the groundlings can be. Then you have your first section, second, and I know it's definitely second section. I can't remember if there's a third. It's sad because I just did a tour there not that long ago. But the Wanamaker's at the Globe, but it's inside, and it's a very tiny, intimate theater. And the thing about it is candlelit. So it's just this small, really cutting down to the acting. Oh, and the intimacy of like every little nuance. It's raw. It's beautiful. It's just, and that for her to say that she had been in there, I was like, holy crap! I didn't even think about what acting in there is like. But yeah, now I'm just gonna keep talking. So I don't know. If you want to...
we're done. We've been.
I was like, we're done. But now we're just
I'm going to. I'm copying and pasting a note that Annette sent to us. So I'm going to put this into the chat.
Plus, my jaw dropped when I saw it.
Yeah, that's Annette's note. She goes, "Thank you. That was fun. I'll come back when you need me. Love to you all. Kisses."
Yay!
So that's from Annette herself.
Yay!
She's probably going like, God, I'm so glad I'm out of here.
It was crazy.
Those people are crazy.
Well, the fact that she had just gotten off of doing an interview or a panel for the most part, because there was a bunch of other actors from Outlander. And then she came on to our show, and then she was going on to another one. So she was just. I like how before we went live, she did make the comment of I think that she was thinking about moving her setup a little bit around her house, so it's not the same couch and the same background. But she didn't want to do it because she's one of the few ones that don't have a bookshelf behind her.
No, I want her to move it to
her back. I might just stay here. I'm a little different.
Annette, could you move it to your back cave in Australia? I don't know how you guys were upside down. I was just like, that was weird.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Everybody was upside down. But then I remember she saying that everyone couldn't hear me at the beginning, or she couldn't hear me at the beginning. So I think
2 people who couldn't hear you. I could hear you.
Yeah, I could hear you fine.
Yeah, I think it was just her audio. I think
Yeah.
I just
But I
went.
think it's clearly with what's going on in the world and everyone's getting more, having to jump online more. I think it's starting to, everyone was using on StreamYard. You know how Zoom was having issues because everybody's on Zoom. So Lord knows that's happening, what kind of happened a little bit earlier before we went live.
Me being a few decades on, I'm going to tell you something you're going to find out as you get older in life. Technology never freaking works the way it's supposed to.
No.
Never.
That was my panic for going live on this. Is said I think we've had every show, and I'm not trying to jinx it. Every show, like at the minute 2 to 3 marker, something goes awry, and a couple of times we've had to postpone the interview or we had to postpone the live feed. It was just like, God. Well,
Like,
speaking of which, we're still broadcasting. Should we shut this thing down?
Like, remember when some of you was kids and they said you'd have your own personal helicopter by now? That's why. Because it won't work right.
Hey, I watched Back to the Future. We're supposed to have that surfboard or whatever.
The hoverboard.
The hoverboard.
Yeah.
There's hoverboards with people on wheels and people can't
Yeah,
figure that out. I mean, literally, if there was an actual hoverboard where you could just sit there and had that kind of self fun of like 2 magnets of trying to push it the opposing forces, yeah. So many rupture herniations would be insane.
What's that
Didn't
thing?
they figure out it was with magnets to actually, because they developed a hoverboard, and of course you can't take it, but it's like magnetic and
you had to be on a special base in order to utilize it. It's still there was no way to really control where you're going.
Wipe out.
I do remember those things. I think they were called the Its or something or like that. Now they just have the flat version where there's just 2 wheels on the side, and I think you control it by your weight or something like that.
Yeah, they're hoverboards.
Are those hoverboards?
Those are also called hoverboards. But it's
okay.
A hoverboard in the Back to the Future franchise.
I just remember there was when they had handles at one point, and I remember there was one on the wall, and somebody said, "Yeah, you're going to need that because where I was working, you had to travel a long distance."
Oh, a Segway?
Yeah, the Segways. Thank you, the Segways. Yeah, and I got on the Segway, and they said, "Yeah, it figures it's steered by your weight." I'm like, "Why?" So as soon as I got onto this thing, the first thing I did was right into the wall. Put a hole in the wall. I was like, I'll walk. I will walk. Yeah, I think I felt so bad because I put a hole in the wall, but I think they were more embarrassed. It was like, okay, yeah, you can walk. Like, yep. I do not.
What is it? Partners in Crime, where the doctor and daughter are on Segways.
Yes.
Yeah, they're on Segways. Love that scene. Like, and they're all. It's like there's 3 of them. I forget the other actor that's there.
Yeah.
For that show, but yeah, they're on the Segways. I'm like,
like you're talking about that, and that's the only thing in my head. I was like, ooh,
so cool.
Well, Melanie, I'm glad you got recorded the time because I am defunct now. This is just completely.
I didn't record the time. I kept it in my mind to know when to go to break.
Oh, okay.
I didn't record the time.
Well, we did. Yeah. Did we put a proper ending to this thing yet?
Yeah,
I tried to, but then I went robot. I went into a robot.
Oh, that's right. And then okay.
Yeah. Then you cut it, and then that's when I said, "Well, let's go ahead and put another one." You're like, "Oh, we already have it." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
I say we do the Slappy the Squirrel ending. It's over. Go away.
I said bye. Let's just
go away now.
Bye. Click.
Wrap it up.
Was it the drunken critic? All right, go away now. We're done with you. Okay, folks. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go get back to our lives because we're just rambling.
We can have a wrap up for the stream where I don't know.
Well, yeah, we're gonna have a wrap up for the stream, which is basically what I just said.
Oh, okay.
Bye. Thank you, folks.
I'll stay here. I have my coffee now. We're good.
I know. Well, you can stay on. I got.
You have things to do.
Well, we're going to. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it tonight. We were gonna do it last night, but I don't. We're gonna go to City Walk. We're gonna try it.
Nope.
We're gonna do it.
All right. Have fun. Mask up.
Yeah. Social distancing, mask up. But
I've heard there's
bring
only
a broom
like
with you.
Open.
What's that?
There's only like 4 restaurants open,
yeah, that's fine.
and 1 store.
Do you have to do reservations?
Well, no, because it's like the restaurants are like Ann's Pretzels and Voodoo Donuts.
Oh.
And then there's like 2 other places that you can Red Oven and something else. And those are the four food.
The voodoo. I saw the news article. Voodoo donuts. You know that queue line that goes up the stairs, windingly goes up to the other restaurants up there, the the tattoo parlor and all that stuff. Yeah, they were using that as the queue line.
Good
because
God.
they could only let 4 people into the store at a time, and they had to practice social distancing. Well, they used that sidewalk there, so for me, it's just trying to support my friends to get them back into work. The more people, the merrier, and just
DoorDash.
Yes, yeah, Paul. Voodoo donuts. Yeah. I think I'm going to go out there just to try it. I hear it is a religious experience, Paul.
They've got great donuts. Yeah.
You bite into one, and someone you don't like just rise in pain.
Exactly.
Actually, they have a voodoo donut that comes with a pretzel where you're supposed to stab it, and it's got jam inside. So, like, it's shaped like a voodoo doll.
You want to vote for a name of the person that's trying to voodoo them?
So, like, there's an actual voodoo donut. Where it's got jam inside, and you take the little pretzel that it comes with, and you can stab the donut.
Okay.
L3.
Well, I didn't realize this, but Nisha just said she was going to do the next show, and I realized the 19th is a Tuesday, which would be our anniversary show. So I don't know. You want to do that? You want to do an anniversary show? Yeah, the 19th is a Tuesday.
Okay.
It's like that will be our 8th year as far as a Facebook page and as far as the Traveling TARDIS. And we can do best of moments then.
Okay.
So.
All right.
We just announced it.
Yeah.
Oh, Candace, you miss Orlando. It's getting its act together. I know some people are questioning about it. Yeah, the people like me goes, you know what? COVID-19 doesn't care where you're at, and there's people like Melanie just say stay safe. I think there's a middle ground between us. We could just basically stay. Sounds violent.
The voodoo. That's the voodoo donut.
That's the voodoo donut. Yeah.
Yes, the voodoo donut is.
Things are slowly returning to normal, but one thing even our local ice cream stands are open now, but they're all using mask, gloves, and everything. They're all being respecting.
I think if they try their I'm not going to walk in and there's a bar of 100 people, nobody's wearing a mask. Yeah, I'm going to avoid that at all costs, like the plague. But if they're social distancing and people are using masks and they're wearing gloves and they're changing them out and they're following the rules, let's give them a chance. Let's get them back up to speed.
Yeah, even the local flea markets are doing the same thing. Everybody's got their masks, their social distancing and everything, but they're all slowly opening back up.
Yeah, none of our flea markets are open yet.
The malls, Florida Mall, they just announced a Florida Mall. All the malls are open. I don't know what they're doing.
The flea market, like where I'm at in Pallas County, we have a huge flea market, we actually have 2. We have the Mustang flea market and we have the Wagon Wheel flea market, which are kind of next to each other. One's more of a yard sale, one's more of a flea market. And I say yard sale because it's just outside, kind of a lot of it's all grassy and all that kind of stuff. But it's also very much where like the farmer's market is. So you can get a lot of produce, you get a lot of fresh fruits, this is where a lot of the fishmongers are going to. So I'm waiting for that to open up because on the weekends, that's usually where I would get all my food. I buy all through local, from there. And I'm waiting for that kind of open up again. But on any given day, there's like, it's a sea of humanity. I'm like,
No, I'll agree to this. When we went to I forgot where we went. We went to the beach when it first opened in Brevard County, and there were just a couple of people who really didn't know about the social distancing thing. I'm just like, come on, guys, really? Can we just do this? For the most part, everybody was doing it, but people were walking in front of us. It was just like, that's not 6 feet. And I remember I put this on my Facebook page. Somebody, I swear to you, there was a lady at Walmart who was carrying a fly swatter for the sole purpose.
She should.
And I just remember somebody
people pushing them like.
Somebody was walking right close to her, and she literally lifted the fly swatter. And as soon as they walked away, she put it down.
She's my hero.
Good for her.
Are the fleas social distancing? I guess they are.
Did you see the post of the cats social distancing?
Yes, because the things are round, the little circles.
The little rounds on the ground, and they sit in the little round things.
Yes. There's what I do for my desk here when I'm working is because the cats will go everywhere. Is I've taken painter's tape and I've marked little X's around on different areas, and they'll sit in areas. Because it's like almost like the box. They want to be in an area. So I have like a square over here, a square over there, and they'll just and they're inside of it. And I'm like, it's a huge flat desk, but they're in that little area away from me. But yeah, the cat's fact that they're social distancing because they're like, oh, round.
Well, and they say cats share enough of the DNA with us that they can get COVID, so they should be social distancing.
Smart,
yeah. Some cats are following rules better than people.
Thank you. Okay.
All right.
We're just
thanks everybody for joining us for the extended version of the show. I'm glad you could join us. Thank you, Dr. Freedom. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Melanie, as always, that are hosting the show, because I know you really were geeking out for that. And Jessica, thanks for tagging along out there. And thank you, Annette Badland, if you're still hearing us. I know she's actually been PMing me. I'm like, aren't you on the next show already? She sent me a what is it? She sent me a kiss and a bee. I don't know what that means. It's a kiss and a flying bee. Kiss bee? Kiss? I don't know. Yes, Candace, cats are dying.
Or they're just stuck in a
maybe she was trying to grab a bite before her next one, because if she keeps doing different ones, like you don't get a break, and so it's like, okay, I need like my own like restroom and grab some food. And
I'm glad she's doing all these interviews and stuff like that and still working, even working-ish, still being active and with her brand. So that makes me happy. Okay, I'm gonna shut up. I'm leaving. That's like the 18th time we've said that.
Yeah.
I don't know why you people are still watching us. Get out of Facebook. Go outside. You're allowed to
go away now.
Get off Facebook. Go outside.
Except there's Colin. No, you know what? Stay inside.
That's why you wear a face mask.
B for Badland. B for Badland. Yes. Yeah. I didn't think about that. Yep. Thank you.
You don't have to go anywhere. Go out.
Yeah.
Go sit in your garden.
There was like
backyard. Your front yard.
We had like an incredible number of people watching. Now we're down to like 10. I'm like, there's still 10 people watching us, guys.
People still watching? Go
We're just that fun.
It's like
cringy. Maybe
it's raining again. Okay. Well, in that case, I'll just grab my painting and start painting now.
We're just so cringy. It's just like a train wreck. You can't look away.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, we keep wrecking. It's not.
It's just like,
we're gonna end, and we're gonna we're gonna end. We're gonna keep talking. We're gonna end.
It's the effects of social distancing. We've been too distant.
It's like a truck.
Humans. There's humans talking. Holy
interaction.
God, I don't understand this.
Okay, now there are 5 people left. We don't know when to quit.
There's an audience. There's a stage.
An audience.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I need the entertainment.
She just wants me to stay in this room all day. Is what
Nice. Thank you, Lady Gulliver. We went back up to 10. What do you people are crazy?
Do the
I like how it's like, for some reason, it's a stand. We won't leave until everybody else leaves.
Sharing down the internet. We were bouncing around like.
Yeah, it's either get off Facebook now or I'm going to stand up, and I'm in my pants. I guarantee you will never see anything again.
English or American?
You'll be struck down.
Band. Can any of you sing?
Now.
Next week. Yep. What do we got here? I'm a teacher. I need interaction. All I get is
e-learning
all day.
All day. Yeah. Okay. Well, there's one thing you got to show. You're not learning anything right now. Hello, Carissa.
I ain't got a lot.
You ain't Game of Thrones is what I think she's saying.
No. Oh, okay.
You ain't got nothing.
That's true.
Oh, the chat's going nuts now. Nothing I ain't seen.
Oh, now everyone's interacting. Damn it!
Why did you do this?
Hi, everybody.
We had a guest. We had a celebrity.
Yeah, where were you all about 20 minutes ago?
See, but now the thing is people are waking up.
I'm getting
people are awake now.
We're just talking about standing up without the pants. Your pants issues.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, okay. Oh, you ain't got nothing.
Eat my sandwich live.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mute, mother.
not muting.
Well, you can't. You please mute. No one wants to hear you eat. That's okay. Seriously, soapbox time. That's one thing I cannot stand. Like how many times you ever do DVD commentaries. And for the longest time, I was a huge fan of listening to DVD commentaries. And they bring these actors food, and people would be doing things, and it's just that sound. And I'm like, nope. I don't care what you have to say. I can't do that. I can't.
She's at work and bored, apparently. I'm at work and bored.
I'm glad we can keep you entertained, Chris.
We got you.
Okay,
Where do you work?
There's 15 of you. How did our audience grow? How are you?
Look, I've got a shirt from Gallifrey.
Oh!
Yay!
It's from the museum when it existed.
Oh!
Well, there's a typo, and that's profane. I don't know
this one right here? Yeah.
what it says.
Yeah. I saw that one. Actually, that's why I got the shirt.
Oh, God.
No, I'm kidding.
Do you even know what it says?
I could probably read this if I had time. Oh, here's the thing that says the Gallifrey Museum. My hair was covering it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Hello.
Yeah. I was like, I need a Doctor Who shirt today, and I found this one. So.
One thing I was gonna bring up, but I didn't want to bring up. I didn't know if I could have worked it organically into the interview or just as a comment, but it was just a comment. Was I remember at a panel, Billy Piper and David Tennant were doing a panel at a Comic-Con, and somebody had asked about the ring. Exactly. Somebody had asked, have you ever, stolen anything from the TARDIS or from the set or anything? And Billy Piper, she has this like little cheeky smile and this twinkle in her eye. And she's like, well, I took Margaret Slitheen's ring. And Tennant was like, what? You stole the ring? And he used a different word that means something differently in the US rather than in the UK. So I'm not going to repeat it. Yeah. Because it was more of an innuendo thing. And she was just laughing. And he was like, what? What's so funny? And she's like, don't say that. It means something different over here, meaning to steal. But yeah, she has Margaret Blaine's, I guess, a ring that she was wearing during her time as that character. Billy Piper has it. Fun little factoid.
Yeah.
You have my TARDIS, Melanie. 3 months.
I do.
3 months.
Do you want me to ship it back, or do you want to just wait until
It's been 3 months.
I know. It's 3 months. Come on, do you want to
take the ground shipping. No, I'm going to City Walk because I was laughing. I was like, I don't have the TARDIS with me, and Chrissy was going like, good. And it's just I'm like, if I go through security again for the empty, I think I've been stopped 3 times with the TARDIS. And all 3
I had
times.
to take it out of the airport. I had to take it out of my bags. Solid piece of metal. And then
I took it to the MCO.
I took it out. It's easier.
I took it to MCO and I actually stuffed it full of socks because I ran out of room. I literally took like my socks and put it in there and closed it up in the bag. And I was going to take pictures with it on the plane, but it was my first time going on an airplane, so I didn't want to really screw up things up in the air with me holding a piece of metal. And second of all, it was up in the upper stowaway, so I left it alone up there. And then I brought a little TARDIS and I took a picture of it with the pilots. But I left it up in there, and I was expecting it. I was expecting somebody to flag and go, "Okay, what is this?" I was about to say it's a sock holder, so I was just like, because I had no room for it
if the socks fit.
The carry-on. What's that?
No, if the socks fit.
The socks fit.
You can put socks in there. No, because it was just with international flights, both your carry-on and your personal bags, they're very strict on size and they're very strict on weight. So that was something where it's like, you know what? Because also it's international. It was. I had it in my carry-on. Actually, it fit in my personal bag, part of the carry-on, but I just took it out of the bag and put it in the little bucket along just so that way it was out. Yeah. Just in case, because I was like, no, because I started taking stuff apart because I was TSA pre, and they're like, "Ma'am, you don't do it." I'm like, no, this I took out the thing, and he's like, "Oh no, thank you for that." No problem.
No, I'm
usually I don't have to do that, but that I'm like, no, we're gonna keep this being as smooth process as possible.
Right.
It's
No,
kind
I'm a
of
little more stingy. I leave it in the bag and take a chance. And I think for the most part, people have just left it alone. But some people who are not of the geekdom, who work that security, were just like, "What is this? What do you plan on doing with it?" And I'm just like, "It. You could use it as a weapon." I'm like, I can buy a snow globe at your theme park and use it as a weapon. I'm just like,
I got weapons right here.
exactly. She's got guns. She's bringing them to the show.
Are we done? Are there people still watching this?
I think we are.
Almost had a beverage.
It needs a
It's
mask.
okay.
Oh, it needs a mask. Oh, that would,
I'm making masks. I can make the TARDIS a mask.
Ooh, do it up.
Wait a minute, Mel, do you have a mask you put on her and just take a picture of it and send it to me?
Not on me.
No, I meant later.
Well, yeah, I could do it later. Yeah, because I mean, I'm not in. Oh my God. Okay, so if you're part of any mask making group, and I'm just going to go ahead and just throw this out there, in the United States, if you go on to it's smart. I have to find the website now. I'll post it on my page. Basically, there's a sheet metal workers union, and it's sheet metal workers and just a ton of fabricators and all this kind of stuff. Basically, if you're part of a mask making group and you've been making masks, and I like how Christian left and it's Meredith's emoji. I don't know if anyone else is noticing that.
Yeah.
At the very, I'm like, okay. But anyway, I'll forward along the smart sheet so that you can go ahead and sign up for it. But basically, different sheet metal unions around the country are making the nose pieces for masks. And they will donate these pieces so that you can continue making masks if you're donating them to, COVID relief. So I have gotten a ton from let me give a quick shout out, the Sheet Metal Workers International Association, Local Union 15 from Sanford, Florida. They sent me a huge little package of nose pieces. So for all those people who are out there making masks, donating them to our first responders, to our hospitals, and all of our frontline workers, the Sheet Metal Workers Union is out there also wanting to help partner and give you a piece to help you keep paying it forward. So FYI. Once I have another mask made, I'll toss one on the TARDIS and just take a photo.
Krista says, I work in security and they told us our name tags could be considered weapons. I'm like, yeah, I could see that. With a little pin or whatever. I know, I get that. Anyway, there's still 15 of you. You guys are crazy. This is more if we were
is chicken and seeing who gives up first.
This is more like our panels. If we were doing panels at Mega and Super and all those places and Tampa Bay Comic-Con, this is more like our panels. We're kind of more of a setback kind of deal. Just we'll go on the topic and then we'll just come completely out of it.
And then we just go whee, and it's more of a fun show.
I know. It's like
we don't have a topic. Okay.
So we had a topic 2 minutes into it, and that was the end of it. And then we'll talk about what everybody else wants to talk about. Oh yeah, everybody, if you get a chance today, and I will try to post this out there more. We just dropped the Sarah Jane Smith tribute that came out today. So if you want to go there, unless you really want to stay here. Oh yeah, nice.
Wait, hold on, Jessica. Is that a Datacron? No, wait.
No.
What is it?
It's a holocron.
It's a holocron. It's a Jedi holocron. That's what I'm. Okay, thank you. My brain.
Although it would be super cool to use one of these and make it into the
siege mode.
Well, I was thinking the messaging, the Time Lord messaging. You know,
message cube. Yeah.
You could turn one of these into that thing, but yeah, they turn on and make colors and.
Holocron. I kept saying the wrong word.
Until you did that, I thought it was like a big thing of soap.
That would be a holocron soap.
That would be amazing.
I want to.
I saw somebody that was making
my idea.
If anyone makes holocron soap, send the link my way.
I know, right?
I'm a sucker for anything Star Wars.
That's still awesome. That was one thing. Just okay. Now we're just gonna go to
or
Star
Pandorica soap.
There you go.
There
Like
you
the
go.
Pandorica with soap.
There's gotta be. There's got to be, and we would be able to find this if conventions were still going. God damn it.
Wait. Even better. It's a soap, but after you get done washing it, it's Matt
Lord.
Smith sitting in a little capsule.
That would creep me out.
Melanie,
or Amy Pond.
we
Or
need to
Miss
go into
Melanie,
soap
yeah.
business together.
Well, that's the bad thing is I know so many like soap makers that are amazing, and I'm like, can you make this for me? And you can make it. I don't know. I'll design you the wrap that we need to have this because this is happening. Oh my god! Okay, Jessica, we're making soap now. We're now soap.
I know. Well, I had some ideas. I was going to send to Lush for bath bombs, but like now I might just have to do them myself. Well, because one of them they need to do an artist thing, like a Van Gogh one where it's an ear.
Yes.
It's shaped like an ear, but then when you put it in a bathtub, it turns into Starry Night colors. Or a raven shape, like a whole Poe one, and then like Van Gogh. And yeah, no, I
See,
want
look,
these
everyone
bath
else looks
bombs.
to this. Those two have completely faded out. Everybody else is like, yes.
Okay, so
I have all these ideas.
That'd be so cool.
There's 8 people who are just getting nixing it. Remember, this is recorded, so we've got these ideas.
I'm sorry, but so far all I've heard is Van Gogh, bath salts, and seeing weird things.
Welcome to Florida.
All right. All right, we're Florida being Florida.
The Walking Dead ear being bit off.
No, the Van Gogh, like
I know.
Ear. I don't know if I want the ear floating in the, but still, it's kind of funny. It's kind of cool though.
I know, right? It would turn into the Starry Night colors, and then it would be shimmery.
Yeah, exactly. Have that shimmer kind of the one that Lush uses, so it's like a seaweed base or something like that. So it's organic and it's okay to go down your pipes.
Yes.
Now, for you folks not in the know, it said that Van Gogh cut off his one ear and sent it, I believe, was it to an old girlfriend or something like that? Along with a note that said, I haven't heard from you lately.
Oh,
but
okay. See, I figured that would get rid
now
of everybody.
Like everyone's gone now.
People are listening, so I don't know.
For this
I'm sorry, I
entertainment,
went down to 8. So yeah, you
they're like, nope.
Brian's joke has cut our audience in half.
I know there is the theory that Van Gogh had that one. I don't know if it's a disease or illness where you can hear your own pulse and it drives you insane. And because they have such sensitive hearing because the veins are too close to the eardrum or something like that. And so it usually causes people.
No, I'm not muting. That was what I was trying to convey.
People to go insane. And so like, I feel like there's a theory out there that's actually what Van Gogh was, suffering from, which would also cause depression and a lot of mental issues. I
Maybe
think
that's
it's great.
Master had kept hearing the sound of drums. It was just his veins were a little close on that little
surprise
regeneration. It's kind of a what was it?
I can't remember what it's called, but there's an actual disability of that, and so it makes sense to him saying, "I can hear the colors."
Yeah,
which is one of his like quotes of like insanity. But I'm like, no, bro, he might actually be able to hear them.
There could be something medically going on that just look, there was something going on we just didn't know. Okay, I think we've lost people. I think we've lost people because we've really lost 2 people on our own panel. So
I'm just listening.
But the same thing happens to me all the time.
I'm watching the views. We went finally below 10, but now 8 people are hanging on.
You want to think that this is what a radio show should do? It's like, are our views going down? Yay!
We're sitting on a panel. We got a full house, and then we're like, oh.
Most people are like, yeah, we need the viewers. Come on, join in. We're like, please go away.
Trying to give us a reason why we got to stop. See sound and hear colors.
Yeah.
Poor Garrett's gonna get this tape. We like, I remember you guys signing off at 50, like 58, 59. Why is it an hour and a half long?
This will be on the outtake reel.
Who's working on that right now? It's just split together.
Apparently,
really.
we are right now. We're still making it.
Well, somebody just said hello.
Right, hi, Lynn. Thank you for joining us. The sad thing is we're here
Okay,
trying to
now Christian, I want to hear you pronounce this one.
Yes.
Lynn
Oh, I got
Weingarten
this.
Marston.
Sounds about right. Yeah. Hello.
Do it.
Hello, Lynn.
How come you can't do
Oh,
words like
Susie.
Ian or Tim? But you could get her name.
I
Awesome.
don't know why. We have.
I'll make fun of Lynn. Just making fun of him.
Synthesia.
Yeah, it's a disorder where, yeah, like the guy said, you can see, sound, and hear colors, if I remember right.
Oh, that's because I remember
Synesthesia.
that. Yeah, that's it. Because there's a girl on Is it also synthesia? It's a form where you could taste things, where like different words and stuff. It's that people say that there's a different taste to it. It's not just
sensory,
a see sound see sound, hear colors. It's two intermingling of where somewhere one of the senses is getting crossed with another.
Yeah, don't
Because
be
I remember-
impressed. I only know these words because I used to watch a lot of House.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
He had a patient who had synesthesia, if I remember
Did
right.
it bit? What the heck? It itches.
And now our dermatology site. What? Put your head closer to the camera. We're going to
Yeah,
tell
look at
Annette.
This thing on my head.
Get on here.
It
Where's
itches.
Nisha? Nisha, are you there?
Something bit me.
It itches. Yeah.
There's some dirt on it.
Oh, dude, I actually went to the Facebook page. There's actually something. Oh, this auto captions. I didn't know we get auto captioned.
Oh no. Does it
So
think we say stuff that we don't say?
Oh, I hope so.
No, it says
Oh.
It says captions are auto generated, and like I'm looking at us right now, and it's actually. Hey,
You're starting to grow a zipper. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Surprise, guys. I'm actually Slitheen.
This is awesome. I wonder if
Surprise!
we could do.
I'm in Annette Badland.
I was her all along. Yeah.
Zippers starting to grow. Everyone just start putting zippers on them.
Oh,
I wonder who does this, Lizzie.
Wait, you can see the comments? You guys can see the comments coming in?
Yeah, I'm looking right at
It's over there. Live.
it's in the
the right side of the screen there. Yeah.
No. I didn't know if it came
Yeah,
in.
on the right side of the screen for somebody that's not having the host controls. There's two tabs. There's private chat and live comments, so we can see the live comments.
Hang on.
However, we can't click on them to put them onto the feed like you can.
I got to know how you guys do the scroll at the bottom. Is it a way to scroll the bottom?
Words. What?
Is it a way to put the scroll on the bottom? Isn't that what they
Not
call
the
it?
same words. More descriptives. More nouns.
what
Action
is a
verbs. Let's go.
scroll?
I thought that's what it was called. It's when you watch like your news and there's that thing that runs along the bottom of the screen where
Yes.
extra news is wrong.
Yes, that's it. That's a running banner.
How do you? Okay, it's called the banner. I thought it was called the scroll. Okay, how do you do that here?
Okay, go to banner.
Okay.
Under banner, there is write out something, and on
Create
the
a
bottom, create banner. I'm doing this from memory. Keep in mind.
Crawl.
It's
Yeah,
crawl.
not David or Bruce, man. That's a whole other green
When you
region.
write in there, start writing your stuff in that box. Along the bottom, I think there's a little check mark somewhere in there that says you can have it either crawl or scroll. I'm trying to think which word it is, but you click that. And then once you save everything, it'll save, and then when you activate it, it'll start doing the crawl. Because that's what I use for my art page to let everyone know, hey, post a comment. There you go. Exactly, that's it. And that way it'll just keep crawling. It'll keep scrolling. So usually that's my call. That I use that for a call to action. So if it's something where I need people to ask me questions, please post to please post a comment and we'll, I'll talk to you live, that kind of thing. My big thing is I'll tell everybody I'm a lurk-friendly zone, so do not worry about being called out.
That is fine. I just
Why would you do that?
Well, actually, no. I'm bald as of day before yesterday. I finally just got rid of all my hair because I was like, I'm going back to work, and I was like, so I zipped it all off with the clippers.
Okay, so this is new. Oh wait a minute, we got 4 more chats. I'll crawl. Thank you, Graham. Crawl. Chiron. Is that what's
Chiron? What need to leave?
Chiron. That's what it was.
I wonder if this is regional.
That's
Probably a regional word.
I thought he was a
everyone's
bad
like,
guy. I thought.
Hey, Kit. Thanks for joining us and giving us the ticker.
Chiron.
Sorry, Chiron. Well, the Chiron. The Chiron.
Yeah, I thought Chiron was a bad guy on Robotech.
Yeah, I think to Jessica's point, I think it's very regional on what people want to call it, and then even within this program, what it's called, because whoever developed it, I think this is StreamYard was West Coast developer, so they probably call it something what it's more colloquially known as over there. Christian's deep
I
in
wonder
thought.
if scroll is the verb.
Maybe
Oh,
because that's what it does.
Because that's it scrolls. So it's like the.
Oh, okay. Then it's just a banner. Okay.
I guess scroll and crawl could also be it's one of those words where
The
it could be a noun, it
scrolls?
could be a verb, it could be an action
The
verb.
crawl or the crawl scrolls?
Crawls. It crawls along the bottom like ants. There's marching ants.
It
Okay,
marches along the bottom.
We went down to 6 people. Oh, we went
I
back
don't
to 8.
Why are we still talking? I don't know. We're trying to get people to get away from us. Oh, that sounds smart.
Now, if you send us $5 right now, we'll go away.
Yes.
Let me put my PayPal account on.
My God. We need to start a Patreon for
Oh, that's cool. I like
Legend of Traveling Tardis. Or a Kofi.
It could be bloody. What is that?
It's a Chiron. Now that
PBS. Where they do the call-ins for like, and we've got a caller, pledging
like
this
a telethon.
A telethon. We should do one of those.
Oh my God, how old are we? We said telethon. Jesus. Ain't nobody gonna call us? Yes, I'll pay you to get the hell off this thing.
Go away.
Facebook alone.
Oh,
Get
that's
driving
awesome.
around.
Traveling Tardis Telethon.
And if you act now, I'll send you this thermometer, and I won't tell you where I used it. Okay.
Geez, thanks.
Oh my goodness.
Get a TARDIS
And
mug. I know we
if
can
you-
start branding our
You
stuff.
just ran off, right? Please
We
don't
would
get
have to show the commercial though of the Shirley Temple, because like that's always shown on every single telethon.
Yes, and that you can, and if you donate $50, we'll give you this Yanni Live at the Acropolis DVD set.
If you act now, I'll send you this lid for your coffee cup that I got from the gas station.
Who was that YouTuber that for bath water for
I can
$30?
Oh, a cellathon for cell phones.
What?
Cellathon. Where's my phone? Hold on.
Okay, we're down to 5 now.
Yeah, they're like, why am I watching these people? They're just
Just
oh,
talking you. Oh, we got chats. Oh, we're back.
Why?
Okay.
hey, from the
$10
UK.
to stick around, Graham. What are you killing us, man?
Oh,
I'll be lunch.
hello.
Hey, from the UK. Keep going. Chris, why would you do that to us? Stop and dance.
All right, Enoch.
Okay, hi, Chris.
Jeez, thanks, Chris.
Like at a Target. Okay, since for some reason people are watching us, if we started having merchandise, like if we had our logo on stuff, would there is that a thing that should we even start thinking of doing, like having a mug or a T-shirt or a keychain or something? Because I'm trying to think other things, even like would people want that? Because we were thinking about that. Me and Christian were talking about stuff. If we should have stuff for some reason.
I don't know, but Lady Gallifrey said bye. I think she ended her.
Yeah.
But she's like, she's done. And she's yes.
Okay. Yes.
Because I remember in the one convention, people were coming by and they're like, "You don't have anything to sell?" And we were like,
Well, I would like to
"No."
do stickers. One thing I would like to do is at least have some die cut stickers to start having. Our logo's already vector. We can go ahead and start working on that. But yeah, anything else that we want to have, I can get. I work in promotional products, so this was well.
I'm just.
I mean, actually, all the stuff I have that's
to this in.
we do tumblers, we do
You
mugs,
would
we
get,
do
you would
shirts.
get I want to get into this. So the commercials that we have on there, and if you hear our sponsors on the actual radio show and the YouTube channel, please sponsor them because they help us out. Those sponsors make sure that this show happens. So, yeah, definitely sponsor them about. But yeah, merchandise. Yeah, we'll definitely use that to support the show. Possibly even. I'm watching Jessica stretch. I don't know why.
I know. I'm sorry.
An interference.
All of a sudden, hold on. That's how. Hold up. That it looks like. Oh, the back. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we good.
We're doing that again.
Welcome.
I mean,
to
I could even,
Contortionist
you know.
Gallery.
Oh my god. Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that. Too
Wrong
much
button.
Jolly Bee. Wrong button.
Nice. Thanks, Chris.
But with merch, that could be part of giveaways for panels.
Exactly. And that's the other thing. It's not necessarily that we're doing it to make money for profit for selling. It's also it's a giveaway where it's like, oh, look, I got a mug. Key rings.
like
Okay.
key rings.
Key rings might be a good thing because I could do acrylic ones. We could do acrylic. We could do like the little soft silicone kind because our logo is pretty cool.
Water bottles might be a really good thing because conventions.
You know what? That might actually not be a bad
And
idea at all.
refilling water bottles because a bottle of water at a convention is bloody expensive.
That's true. And we have ones that we have steel ones like this. Okay, this is the Bubba one, so I'm not going to be like even attempting pushing that. But we have when I say we, Bic Graphic, we have a couple plastic sport bottle ones that are actually fairly decently priced. And we have some plastic ones, and then we have some steel ones. The steel ones, though, I'm not totally sold on because they're not if like this one, if it was like vacuum sealed in the middle, it would stay cold all day. And I kind of like that idea for a convention, but it's bigger price point.
Yeah.
But we have some plastic ones that are actually pretty cheap. They're good for conventions. And the best thing is, I keep pulling this thing up. It's got that little plastic loop on the top where you could put a carabiner on it.
Yeah.
So you can attach it somewhere. So maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea for us to kind of think of for conventions.
Yeah.
Got to be blue.
So now that we're back up to 12.
We're marketing.
Now, I guess everybody's now part of our marketing department here.
Thank you.
Let's do this.
Okay, I will make a confession that I've been working on that I haven't told everybody. But before this COVID-19 went down, I was going to be talking to Wild Bills. Does anybody know what Wild Bills is?
I got one right there in my kitchen. Says
We were starting discussions and COVID-19 hit, but how do you get a Wild Bill mug with your traveling TARDIS on it?
Ooh.
Because that's how they do. And then put the Gravox hat on it.
Everyone's favorite bit of memorabilia. There we go. I gotta find them. There we go. Well, Melanie has mine, but
there's this.
Let me see.
What is everyone's favorite bit of memorabilia?
Chain one.
There we go.
I got the holiday.
Only $10. These were only $10, and this was amazingly accurate.
Harley J, does it have to be Doctor Who memorabilia? Because I might have something that's not Doctor Who.
That's the other thing. I
have. Oh God, if I brought my camera.
Would you end up lugging a lot of mugs around?
Oh, that was.
Yeah, that's the only bad thing.
That's the only drawback. Yeah. I used to help people with merchandise, and it's just like it was so. That was one of the things being when we had the tables. It was just like it was so weightlifting, big time, that we only had to set up a booth, and that was it.
And that's the bad thing with if we're doing any type of bottle steel. After a while, those Wild Bill mugs are bigger. They have a bigger footprint, so they'll be heavy. If we did sport bottles, those I think if we did any type of bottle or any type of drinkware, you want to go with something like plastic or steel, because if you're traveling to a convention or everything, ceramic breaks unless you have the damage resistant packages for ceramic for the budget mugs. Nope. And those things are like $1 a piece extra just to get it from the manufacturer.
Actually, with the Wild Bill mugs, you'd have to get them online. We would just only have like maybe a couple on hand, maybe like 4 or 5 at best that we could carry around. But they would have them at the internet. You could purchase them there. That was the original concept, so we wouldn't have to carry so many mugs. But my fear is, it's like, yeah, cool, yeah, oh yeah, we don't have to go to the Wild Bill. Oh, we can take this to Wild Bill and get the discounted drink. Yeah, go ahead, we'll get a mug. I'm like, oh boy.
It's not my favorite, but it's one of my favorites. I'm gonna answer that question about.
Well, and Melanie was saying about carabiners. Aren't there ways to get personalized carabiners? So you could do both.
Here we go. There we go. There's my favorite memorabilia. I've got Billy Piper's autograph and I got David Tennant's autograph. And that ribbon's just that's when I went to San Diego Comic-Con and I got a haul from the Costume Designers Guild. I got a costume award. They found me wandering the hall. So wow. That's what's in the middle hanging there. But yeah, there's my favorite memorabilias. And then that's one of the Comic-Con prints that actually was on one of the guidebooks. So yeah, there you go. We'll just go with what's hanging near me. That's my answer. Whatever I could find.
There you go. Steven says a sonic screwdriver pen.
Yeah.
Harley J. Pearson from Doctor Who or anything else. Okay, so that opened up.
Oh, from anything else? Hold on, I'm gonna be right back.
Oh God! What? Look.
Oh no! Now you've done it.
Okay, we're back up to 15. I don't know.
Surprise!
We're just keeping people entertained. I really got to go a little bit there. Chris Millie, who do you think is the best star holding? Oh, of course, I already have the picture up, but let me show you again. That bad guy.
Yeah.
That bad boy.
That guy.
And Chris, let me add to the story. I want to take a screenshot.
Let's hurry up and sign off before she gets back.
Yeah, and Chris, let me add to this story over here. This, I'll say it again sometime, I'm sure, or I probably already said it. I got a 2-for-1 on this picture. I'll explain why. When I brought in the TARDIS to Peter, I gave him the TARDIS and I said, here, go for the picture. And I walked away. And Peter got so taken aback. He was like, you don't want the picture? Or however he talks. And he's just like, no, Peter, this is all about you. And he goes, well, what do you want me to do with it? I'm just like, whatever you do best. And that is what came out. That is exactly almost verbatim. I think the hand was corrected eventually to be straightened out. But that is basically what came out of the TARDIS. And not only that, but I mentioned I got a 2-for-1 from that. And the reason why I got a 2-for-1 is that Peter noticed me walking away with the TARDIS. And he goes, come back here. I'm like, why? He goes, you're not getting a picture unless you get it with me too. And he grabs me, takes a picture, and all the people over at the camera area were baffled because he's making everybody at the stands take a 2 pictures again. This time he wanted me to picture with him, which I've kept to the side. But he made the people over at the convention take a second picture. It was just like, oh great, they just did a 2-for-1 for me. Whether because Peter Capaldi. But I mean, he's one that story, and I believe many stories that you've heard of Peter. I think that's why I say Peter is a fan of the fans.
Yeah,
because he loves the fans that much that he will go into character, and geek out with them because that he had a love of Doctor Who before that. And I was like, nobody else would have done that. Nobody, and he didn't have to, but he took a second picture with me, with him. And that picture I just keep hidden because this is the monumental picture that I've got. I mean, of course, there's, fun little pictures like that one. And of course, the pictures, of course, people have been meaning with, but that's the one. Melanie, I know you're chomping at the bit.
I know it's okay. So me and my husband collect a lot of memorabilia. We love getting autographs. When I say collecting memorabilia, it's usually us getting it ourselves. So a lot of the autographs, I would say 99% of them, we got them ourselves. That's how I roll. This is not Doctor Who. This is from the TV show Psych. So I am a huge, huge fan of that show. I know they're coming up with the second movie pretty soon. And this is a longboard from Psych.
Oh, wow.
And I won the longboard from a thing. But if you can notice, there's a lot of autographs on it. And I got each one of those myself at San Diego Comic-Con. And I just started tracking down people.
Now we go to live video of her actually writing it.
Oh my God. I used to, but no, not after.
No.
But yeah, I did. I was doing one of the, because Psych really had a huge social media thing, and I have so much stuff from them just from watching the shows and doing live tweeting and all that kind of crap. But they ended up sending me this and a Snuggie and a bunch of other stuff. But I ended up taking this to San Diego Comic-Con, and you can kind of see I've got everybody except Amundsen and what's her name? The girl who played Juliet, Maggie Lawson. I don't have her, but yeah, this is my baby. This is my
Darn,
huge. No kidding.
I was hoping for some cool Tony Hawk like footage, you know.
No, not on a longboard.
No, they put sand down in those pits, so you can't go out there now.
If there was a Doctor Who longboard, oh yes. And that's one thing is, I mean, I love the art on skateboards, and that's one thing that maybe I'll start doing. I think it'd be kind of cool. But yeah, that's my favorite piece. That's
PBS 25th anniversary mug. I got signed by Peter Davison. Got approximately 1983-84. Wow.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
That's awesome.
No, Chris Milley, Doctor Mysterio pose. Yep. I mean, there's a whole let me get the link. There's a whole Facebook page that's called Friends of the Friends. Yeah, Traveling Tardis and Friends, and there's like 100. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, there's 111 pictures of celebrities. I'm gonna go ahead and post a link to it if you want to check it out.
Coming up on hour 2.
Oh gosh.
Oh God, that's enough of this.
I just looked at the counter.
Okay.
What is wrong with us?
I'm not going to pull all the pictures here, but I've got Tony Curran, Alex Kingston, Karen Gillan. Who's the guy that was on Star Trek Discovery who got killed? The captain.
I don't know. I don't watch
Harry Potter with the white hair. Big tall guy.
Oh, I know what actor you're talking about, but I can't.
Jason Isaacs?
Jason Isaac. And I got a picture of anything less. It was Jack Hanna. He was at SeaWorld, and I just happened to travel the Traveling TARDIS, nailed him with that. Deep Roy, Alan Tudyk, David Warner, Robert Pickard. I've been just like on and on and on and on and on and on.
Call yourself lucky, because if you can get anywhere near Alan Tudyk at a convention these days, I praise you.
I know, now you can. At one point, years ago, my husband bumped into him walking into a Nerd HQ, and because he was just outside, he was waiting for his car, just chit-chatting, and Kevin just looks at me like, would you mind if I got a photo with you? Or I mean, if you're busy. And he's like, no, man, come on, hurry up. And you can't do that now. You can't get near the guy.
Yeah, because I was hoping to get a signed photograph so I can add him to the Firefly wall here, and it's like, he had a line, like a 2-hour line to get into the 2-hour line. It's like.
Mm-hmm. For a while, again, when Nerd HQ was a thing, if you're not familiar with that, it was like an off-site. It was a thing that Zachary Levi did during Comic-Con, where it had nothing to do with Comic-Con, just during the same days of Comic-Con, depending on where the site was, you could go to Nerd HQ, hang out. There was panels, all that kind of stuff. At that point, there was a thing, it was like a photo booth, and you could get your photo taken, and a lot of it was going to charity. It was going for Smiles, which was the cleft palate charity. And they started doing a thing between Tudyk and Nathan Fillion, where they were starting to have a competition. It was, you could say friendly, but friendly was a very tenuous word, to see who could raise more. And every freaking moment, they were literally either down at the booth trying to get people to have selfies with them or photos with them for $20, or it got to the point where for their panels, they started adding panels where each one of them started just bringing stuff from their home to sign and sell. So they would have their own like mini auction. And Tudyk started bringing stuff from like Astro Boy and just any type of just random stuff he said that he could find from his house, from his closets or whatever. Same thing with Fillion. And it would be like either if you go to those press junkets and you get a little gift bag. And at one point it was like Apple like shuffles in them. He's like, I don't need 8 shuffles. So I signed it. Let's start the bidding at, I don't know, $5. And it would just start going. And Tudyk was doing that too, where it was just so much, it was hilarious because they were just socks they were selling. I mean, they were just anything, just so that they could be the one that could win.
That's
yeah,
funny.
Good guys for charity. Put that skateboard down.
Hang on. I'm doing this. I'll do this.
What are you
man.
doing? Why are there still people here? Because now I'm getting hungry.
We're back
I
up
know.
to
There I
Wrong
am.
wrong one.
Yeah, there I was.
Hooray!
We're back up to 12.
Go away.
Dance, puppets, dance.
We're gonna have like the ending of Deadpool 1 show up. We're gonna have Deadpool
If
walking.
you act now, I'll send you this
Okay.
light switch thing. You know.
There you go.
All right.
I'm
your,
like-
your wife's back. I've
Like,
never
what
met
can I
anyone
find
from
to
Doctor
speak
Who.
on?
Did I would probably freak out. Oh, okay.
If Harley J. Pearson, if you ever go to any conventions, I highly recommend that you do the selfies if you can, because you'll get more people time. Last thing, also, I'm giving a big asterisk that this COVID's completely gone. Also, because let's face it, photos as we know it, autographs as we know it, is kind of up in the air. So
You're going to
if
be
we're-
lucky if you can get a bulletproof shield between you and
right.
anybody.
So if we somehow get to a point, let's just joke and say 2 years from now, when this is all a funny thing that we all live through, the plague. Oh God. So if you can get back into the
Plague.
world and you can do
Lots of
selfies,
plague,
you can do
plague.
that. Highly recommend John Barrowman and Catherine Tate and Alex Kingston. Trying to think. Michelle Gomez is another good one.
She's insane.
Oh, you
And
mean
Only
Wonderful.
because Tennant Smith, they're all amazing,
Yeah.
but there's such a huge line that you may not get the one-on-one time that you would hope for, or the interaction that you get. And bless them, especially when it comes to the money that you're paying. So for the bang for your buck, go for those four if you can. If the line's not long, everyone's going to want to give you time and effort, and have that kind of experience. But seriously, Barrowman, Kingston, Catherine Tate, Michelle Gomez, Billie Piper. If she's there for more than one day, you can have a lot more. You can have a lot more interaction with her.
Peter Capaldi will take as much time.
Yes,
he is absolutely. He will literally go, hold on a second, I'm talking. And it's like,
yes, he will.
Okay, all right. So
Yep.
like he will take that time and really have that interaction with you. So will Paul McGann. Honestly, most of the
Paul
doctors,
will chew your ear
will talk
off.
your ear off.
Bless
I
his soul.
love Paul. I think I talked to him for like 30 minutes. I'm like, okay, yeah, no, keep talking. Like,
he was game to take videos for anybody that wanted. I'm like, well, funny. I'm like, well, my friend, Christina couldn't come, and he's like, oh, well, we'll do a video for her. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, there you go. He's like, Christina, where are you? What are you? This was that was during the cake one, by the way, Christian.
She had a friend who missed the convention because her car broke down and could not come to the convention. And I told Paul, and he found out because I was kind of bummed out my friend didn't come. And he actually, we were having a long talk. He goes, "What's the matter?" I'm just like, my friend couldn't come. He goes, "Do you have her number?" I'm like, what do you mean? And I literally dialed her, left a voicemail with her. Just, "This is Paul McGann. I'm sorry you couldn't come. We're having a good time, and I definitely make sure next time I'm out there." Just having to leave whole messages out there. I'm going to do this real fast because some of you saw this. There's Billie Piper actually taking a picture of the Traveling Tardis.
I love
which
her.
I have not gotten at all. I don't even know how to get a hold of her there. And also Michelle Gomez, who was just like,
I love her.
there's so many pictures. So I just grabbed a few over here. This one tugs at my heartstrings every time because Nichelle Nichols declared that she would not be going to any more conventions.
Yeah.
And this is the last picture
awesome.
right now that we know of. Hopefully, maybe I hope she gets better, but I don't think so. Of her inside and there was a meme that I put up over there. I couldn't find the meme, but I'm sure I'll find it. It'll say, "Come on, Nichelle, one more time around the universe," and she's holding the Traveling Tardis. She remembered when she was at SuperCon the last time. She remembered the Traveling TARDIS over there. Just a little spoof how this should have ended.
Net.
There just happened to be a Negan in the room over there. And you got everybody was shouting out Alan Tudyk, and unfortunately, I only have the print. I haven't had a chance to get it out, taken out. But yeah, he got a shot of the Traveling TARDIS. And you guys were talking about Paul McGann.
I found the video.
There you go. Oh God, yeah.
I have the video.
Paul was at SuperCon with Eric Roberts, and Eric Roberts was like doing his own thing, and they were alone. They literally had nobody at the table at one point. And I just went up to Paul and I said, "What would you think about Eric and you taking a picture with the Traveling TARDIS?" And he goes, "Oh, that's a brilliant idea. I can't. Yeah." And so Eric was just like, I don't know what I do over there. And then Paul like egged him on for 10 minutes, and the result, that's what came up. The Master and the Doctor fighting over the TARDIS, and Paul was just geeking out, and Eric is just like, "Oh, okay."
I think the funniest thing with Paul is wherever he is, if there's if there's a Dalek anywhere, he will stop whatever he's doing, walk over to it, and hug it. That's what he does. And he goes up, hug. He always. It's like, "No, Doctor, you can't do that."
I think he enjoys every moment with the fans out there. Speaking of every moment with the fans, I know there's 10 of you left. And I think we've been doing this for 2 hours.
For an
hour. 2 hours, almost 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't even know how the time thing works over here. I stopped at the third segment, so I'll figure it out. I'll probably watch the episode and figure it out. But guys, thanks for joining us. I'm glad we could entertain you for the 2 hours that we were on. I'm glad for those of you who checked the Annette Badland episode out. Thank you. Tell everybody, give it a like at the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. We're trying to get 34,000. We are closing in. We only got like a little over 100, and then we'll be up to 34,000 or like 35,000 for his birthday, but that might be a little bit of a push. And subscribe to us. Melanie Dean, check out her. Are you doing any more? You're gonna continue to do live paintings, right?
I am. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do next. One painting in particular kind of got screwed up when I was trying to pack it, and had a varnish issue. So I might be retouching that one. I don't know whether or not I want to do that live or not, but on one hand, I kind of want to show I don't want to just kind of show the glory of, oh, look, this is how painting works. It's beautiful all the time. So I might do a live painting of me just trying to fix something that screws up, at least a little more educational. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to get back into painting. Maybe I'll just even do pencils, just to kind of show how I do the pencil part.
Make sure to subscribe.
I'm going to keep doing it.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to keep sure because we're going to share it on the Traveling TARDIS as well. Dr. Freedom on the YouTube channel. Check him out when the news drops. He gets it. I saw I think it was the last before episode, and you were sitting there in the apocalypse and going, "I've done everything. What do I do now?" News. It's just remember that episode. I was just like, cool, he's back. And Jessica with Song Swung Cosplay on Instagram. Please tell me you got a Facebook page, right?
Yes, I just recently got one, and it's the same name.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I've tried to link them, and I'm still learning how to use it. So if anyone has tips or anything, but yes, I did add Facebook.
About time you came to the Facebook world. I
know. I link my Facebook to my Instagram. So
I know. Yeah, that's the good part. You can when you post on Instagram, it goes straight to your Facebook. So it's double duty there. That's it. We're gonna call it quits, folks. Thanks for the 2 hour.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
8 of you.
It says it's 2 hours long. The first 45 minutes is the really good content.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now that Brian has said he's gone to the bathroom, I'm going to hold it longer for Get out the bag.
All right.
Thank you, folks.
I'm out.
See you later. We are outie. Please stay safe out there. Stay at home if you can. If not, enjoy it. Just stay safe. Social distancing, blah, blah, blah. Guys, thank you so much. Have a great day. And continue to become part of the legend.